You've watched countless videos about expensive, amazing fidget spinners. Maybe you're even using one right now as you watch this video. It's okay, we understand. You don't want to know how many fidget spinner flicks went into creating this video, but we bet there are a few things you don't know about these handy little devices. You might think you're the master of your fidget spinner, but we bet we can still throw you for a loop. Before we begin, don't be too distracted you forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you want to earn that illustrious honor of commenting first on one of our videos, you'll want to join our notification squad as well. They're older than you think. If you've ever asked yourself, what on earth is a fidget spinner? Don't worry, you're not alone. These little devices seem to have popped up overnight for some people. While most of us just wanted to know where we could get our hands on our own, we know viewers of the Hub want to know the story behind this phenomenon. Catherine Hettinger is a woman with a curious and inventive mind. She learned that young boys in Israel were known for throwing rocks and sticks at police officers. This is hardly a productive hobby, to say the least, and Hettinger wanted to think of a way to occupy the kids. You may think of the fidget spinner as a recent trend, but Hettinger developed the first model back in 1993. She found that it was a great way to reduce stress, as well as providing kids with an outlet for their energy. After patenting her device, she met with famous toy company Hasbro, and was so nervous she even used her fidget spinner during the meeting. And in a decision that they must have regretted, Hasbro rejected her idea for the fidget spinner, based on the results of consumer tests. That's right, the third largest toy manufacturer once passed on the fidget spinner. Patent troubles. If fidget spinners have been around for so long, then why haven't we heard of them until fairly recently? Well, Hettinger had trouble getting people to sell her products to start off with, and even she isn't 100% sure what caused the sudden interest in her spinners. Although she believes that the U.S. economic downturn may have had something to do with it, Hettinger believes that her products help to calm and soothe people, and few things create a bigger need for that than financial stressors. In 2005, Hettinger's patent on the fidget spinner expired, and she couldn't afford the $400 fee to get it renewed. This meant that all manufacturers could use her designs freely, and they sure did. Fidget spinners went from something nobody but their creator had ever heard of, to something you can even buy right at your local convenience store. Even Hasbro, who rejected the fidget spinner and believed it would be unpopular, now creates and sells them. We wonder if the person who rejected the idea at Hasbro has one on their desk or not. Hettinger believes that people have a need for fun and that her product helps them realize it. Not $1 million ideas, mostly. Based on the fact that these things are flying off the shelves and everyone seems to own one, you might assume that Hettinger is beyond wealthy at this point. You might picture her spinning a solid gold and diamond fidget spinner right now. But unfortunately for her, this isn't the case. Due to the aforementioned issue with the patent, Hettinger doesn't make any profit off her invention. In fact, no matter how big of a fidget spinner fan you are, you haven't yet had the chance to try an original fidget spinner. Hettinger has created a Kickstarter campaign to mass-produce her original design. With a modest goal of just under $24,000, she is searching for people to help finance her dream of selling fidget spinners. You can see prototypes of the original spinner and even see Hettinger's adorable granddaughter playing with one. We're glad that Hettinger is finally going to make a profit off her great idea. When asked about the success of fidget spinners, she claims that she isn't bitter about her lack of money and recognition because she invented these to help people, and that's what they're doing. So while fidget spinners may mean big bucks to toy companies, their inventor sadly hasn't seen a dime. More research is needed. Advertisements for fidget spinners frequently claim that they are invaluable tools when it comes to managing ADHD and anxiety disorders. The logic is that by having something to occupy their hands and use up some of that nervous energy, people's minds will then be free to concentrate on other tasks. This could mean the difference between a student who can pay attention in class and one who is disruptive. But do these devices really help? Well, it depends who you ask. Many people who suffer from these disorders claim that their spinners really do help them in these situations, but experts are skeptical. Clinical psychologist and professor at Duke University, Steve Collins, notes that there are many products marketed at people who have ADHD with no scientific evidence to back up marketing claims. He believes that buying a toy might seem like a quick fix, but there are well-studied and documented treatments that can help also. While scientists don't have any conclusive proof that fidget spinners don't work for their intended purposes, they also don't have any evidence that they are helpful either. This makes some people reluctant to view them as anything more than a passing fad and possible distraction. They're being banned. Despite the lack of scientific evidence, many people claim that their fidget spinners help them pay attention in the classroom. Unfortunately for these people, fidget spinners are quickly being added to the ban list in many schools. According to Spinner List, the fidget spinner database, 32% of the top 200 high schools in America have already banned fidget spinners. While there are some teachers who are in favor of the spinners and claim they can be positive tools, many more teachers seem to have mixed or negative feelings about these devices. Dr. Greg Mattingly, a psychiatrist at St. Charles Psychiatric Associates and instructor at Washington University, says that the mesmerizing spinners are hard for students not to look at. He has mixed feelings because while the spinners are certainly distracting at times, he has noticed that it stopped many students from moving around in their seats. While some teachers actually keep fidget spinners on hand for their students to use, others view them as nothing more than annoying distractions and refuse to allow them in the classroom. Hopefully, if we do get some hard evidence that they are helpful when it comes to concentration, we could see many schools reversing this decision. They can be dangerous. Fidget spinners are so simple. They're small, most are lightweight, and they aren't known for having sharp or many moving parts. However, people have still managed to injure themselves with fidget spinners, which further incentivizes schools to ban them. With demand for spinners at an all-time high, many companies are creating cheap spinners that can easily fall apart. If the bearings or weights fall out, these can be serious choking hazards for young children. You might be skeptical, but there have been many documented cases of children choking on parts of fidget spinners or getting them caught on their fingers. In fact, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is currently investigating such instances and is advising parents to keep fidget spinners away from young children. Although it may cause you to gasp and clutch your spinner a little tighter, they actually recommend dropping your spinner to make sure it doesn't fall apart. They urge people to purchase spinners only at reputable retailers to try to ensure their construction is solid. One 10-year-old girl in Texas even had to have emergency surgery to have part of a fidget spinner removed after she swallowed it. How long can they spin? Okay, so you're definitely going to purchase a well-made fidget spinner and keep it away from small children, right? When researching your new fidget spinner, one number you may keep noticing is the spin time. Spinners differ in design, shape, and material, so there is a lot of variation in the amount of spin time you're going to get from a single flick of your finger. To determine how long it can spin, you'll need to know the starting angular velocity. Oh, and you'll need a laser and some knowledge of physics, but that's no big deal, right? If you know the starting angular speed and can assume a final angular speed of 0, then it's possible to calculate the spin time. Because the spinner moves so fast, using a laser to measure the change in angular velocity is your best bet. By adhering a light sensor to the spinner and shining the laser on it, you can track the values from the light sensor as it spins. You can plot out all the data, but you only need a small segment in order to calculate the angular velocity. It should appear linear, so all you have to do is plot it out over time, and you'll be able to see how long it should spin for. Other uses. Of course, as soon as a product comes out, there are some people who want to use it for anything except what it was intended for. Have you seen some of the crazy things people have been using their fidget spinners for? If you've ever logged onto the dating app Tinder, you might have found swiping through your matches can be rather monotonous. But 22-year-old Holden Ellis came up with a brilliant idea by using his fidget spinner to keep swiping right. Although depending on your mood, you may prefer to continually swipe left instead. And if you're trying to do your makeup before your Tinder date, James Charles has you covered. He recently uploaded a video of himself applying makeup using a fidget spinner. It's kind of humbling that he can contour better while using a fidget spinner than the rest of us can without one. It's only a matter of time before people find more alternative uses for their beloved fidget spinners. We know we just can't wait to see what they come up with. They're popular. Well, obviously you know that they're immensely popular, but few people realize the magnitude of people who are purchasing fidget spinners. They are so popular that retailers are struggling to keep them on their shelves. Alan Ashkenazi is the executive vice president of Almar Sales, a company that supplies toys to retailers such as Toys R Us and Walmart. His company ships fidget spinners that retail for about $5 to $25. By his estimation, by the end of May 2017, his company alone will have shipped out 45 million fidget spinners. According to him, the market demand of speed and velocity surpasses any product we've seen in our 50-year history. But how long does he anticipate this trend lasting? He believes that the demand will decline by the beginning of the 2018 school year, but notes that it is a very long time for a trend. Usually things are popular for a few weeks or a few months, but a year in trends is a very long time. Even on Amazon, 18 out of the 20 best-selling toys and games were fidget spinners. There are so many retailers selling so many of these things, and yet they still manage to run out. They can get pricey. There is a wide variety of different fidget spinners out there. If you go to your local convenience store, you may notice quite a few available for less than $5 each. And then there are the super cheap ones that you can order online for mere pocket change. But on the other end of the spectrum, there is no shortage of people willing to shell out big bucks for some truly exquisite fidget spinners. If you follow fidget spinners at all, you've likely wished you could afford a Torqbar of your own. These incredible spinners are made with top-tier materials and are built to last a long time. The creators of the Torqbar, Scott McCostery and Paul de Herrera, claim that they have sold thousands of their spinners, which start at $129 in price. Customers also have the option of paying up to $800 for a custom spinner. These gorgeous, perfectly balanced spinners can spin for over 6 minutes. McCostery claims that he has hundreds of people on waiting lists for custom spinners. While he acknowledges that fads tend to fade, he believes that his company will enjoy longevity because they cater to high-end clients rather than casual users. So not only are people willing to pay big bucks for one, there is no shortage of people willing to do so. Hopefully, we've given you a little insight into the world of fidget spinners. Maybe you won't be using them to apply your makeup or to swipe through your Tinder matches, but it is interesting to know where spinners came from and how they're perceived by many. We know that we'll be daydreaming of the day we can get our hands on a Torqbar. Thanks for watching our video, and we'll see you next time.